We see a deadly sin on every street corner, in every home, and we tolerate it. We tolerate it because it's common. It's trivial. We tolerate it morning, noon, and night.
Buyer beware. Buyer beware. Buyers beware. If you are putting together a protest, if you're putting together some type of rally, make sure that you don't self-incriminate yourself, because the CIA and the FBI is known for infiltrating organizations and entrapping them, which is supposed to be illegal. Now, the latest is that if you've been paying attention, if you're not a left-wing conspiracy nut who keeps trying to pretend as if January 6th was like Pearl Harbor or 9/11, if you're not one of those kind of nut jobs, if you actually look at the evidence, nobody can look at the evidence and come away from the conclusion that this was nothing but a government orchestrated so-called insurrection. And by the way, it's entrapment, because there's a form called 1776 return. Now, the 1776 return was sent by an FBI snitch, informant, whatever you want to call him. It was sent over to this Uriki fella who was the leader of the Proud Boys. Now, you remember that Uriki, none of the conservative sites want to say this, but he was a government snitch himself. According to all documents, if I'm wrong, please prove me wrong. Put the comments in there and prove me wrong. Because what I read is that he was formerly a snitch, according to the lawyer. I think it was 2013, 2014. So the snitch actually have been played by the FBI. See?
If you don't protect what belongs to you, then sooner or later it belongs to someone else. That goes for your land, your wallet, your home, your country, everything. It is your job as a man to protect it. It's a story of America, the story of the whole goddamn world.
This program to give a special thanks out to Deborah, some say Deborah, who donated on our PayPal. Also like to thank Kristen Moore, who also hit us up on PayPal, and John Hoyer, who donated on PayPal. Thank you guys. As you know, we're demonetized, and we appreciate all your contributions. God bless you. See, the FBI and the CIA, especially the CIA, the CIA goes over in other countries and infiltrate them with your money. So they use your money. We don't know how many government human sources, FBI agents, State Departments, DOJ people, we don't even know how many was with the January 6th. They done lost count now. But what we do know is that all of these frauds who's been talking about insurrection, what we did, now we find out that the FBI informant, and the DOJ knew this. So Merrick Garland, he gets it on 60 Minutes crying like a girl. What the hell is you crying for, fool?
The American people must protect each other. They must ensure that they treat each other with civility and kindness, listen to opposing views, argue as vociferously as they want, but refrain from violence and threats of violence. That's the only way this democracy will survive.
I've never seen such wimpy men in all my life. When I was a boy, I ain't never seen so many men so damn weak and break down under every damn situation.
People steal, don't get caught, live the good life. Others lie and cheat and get elected. Some people stop to help a stranded motorist and get taken out.
Merrick Garland, the head of the DOJ, goes on 60 Minutes crying like a little bitch. It's freaking outrageous. Yeah, I said it. He said, I don't like when you say, you know, bitch is a female dog. You do know that, right? Well, that's what he is, technically speaking. But pay attention to this. When they submitted this 1776 form to indict a bunch of the January 6th folks, the DOJ already knew that it was submitted by the FBI. You think they didn't know that?
Ignorance is bliss.
How is this not entrapment? So you're telling me that the unsolicited, an FBI informant sent over the document to the head of the Proud Boys, and because that 1776 return is a way to overthrow the government. So the government sent the document over to teach them how to overthrow the government, and then they charged him with a crime. Now you mean to tell me you really think Christopher Wray and the DOJ and the police department, matter of fact, they had undercover police department, metro police departments who was helping the FBI and all. They don't even know how many informants they had.
The most valuable commodity I know of is information. Wouldn't you agree?
And you mean to tell me when Donald Trump went in and tried to give these people the National Guard, Mel Bauer down there, she's a joke, Nancy Pelosi, all these people said, hell no. These devils had been planning this the whole time. And they're still talking about January the 6th like it was really an insurrection. Most of the cases was entrapment. They had a couple of people acting a fool, but most was entrapment. Did they do any more damage than the folks did for the George Floyd riots? When it was burning down cities? When Antifa and Black Lives Matter was burning down cities? Is it any worse than what they were doing? This is one of the biggest scams I've ever seen.
No beast is more savage than man when possessed with power answerable to his own rage.
They entrap people. They're the ones who instigated, kind of like they did with that fake kidnapping in Michigan with the governor down there. FBI did that too. We got the dirtiest damn government ever been announced under the face of the earth, but they get on TV acting like they got integrity. I want to just throw up when I see Merrick Garland pretending as if the people of this they work with integrity. The DOJ is trash, just like the FBI is trash. These people are completely corrupt. And one day you're gonna have you're gonna have to stand before God. Matter of fact, before you leave this earth, you're gonna be judged by that too. Nobody's buying the BS from the FBI, the DOJ. I'm sick of people saying that they're not corrupt. They've been corrupt.
You know, sir. Corruption charges. Corruption? Corruption is government intrusion into market efficiencies in the form of regulation. That's Milton Friedman. He got a goddamn Nobel Prize.
They've been corrupt. They're just more corrupt now than they ever been. I mean, technically speaking, they make J. Edgar Hoover look like a choir boy. I never thought I'd say that. They're more corrupt than J. Edgar Hoover. Your FBI is more corrupt than J. Edgar Hoover. Because J. Edgar Hoover he was a piece of trash too. But he was mostly going after people who was well known or who had real influence. Dr. King, RFK, JFK, Malcolm X. He was going after people who had influence. This FBI deal, they grandma, grandpa, we don't care. We'll lock all y'all up.
Amendment 1. Congress should make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech.
Nobody's civil anymore. Nobody thinks what it's like to be the other guy.
It's not the Bill of Rights. We'd be more like China. Here, at least, we don't have warrantless searches. We have free speech. Citizens are protected from cruel and unusual punishment.
And this whole January the 6th thing, you remember the modern day Abraham Lincoln? Dick Cheney's son, who he wanted a son, he had Liz instead. That modern day Abraham Lincoln was pretending as they had a real January the 6th, and they was going to get to the bottom of an insurrection, and then they destroyed the evidence. I've never seen such corruption in all my life. They destroyed the evidence. When it was time for Donald Trump and his team to look at the evidence, they destroyed it. And you got dumbasses on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook, posting on their social media platforms, pretending as if real crimes have been broken. Nobody, they don't pay attention until they start coming to their house.
Family are not just people who coddle you, who grant you your every whim. They are people who fight for you, who you fight for.
Because this immigration that you bring up, I heard they're hitting some of these high-end homes in Michigan now. People from other countries, these organized gangs now. It's going to come knocking at your door pretty soon. These same leftist scumbags who's pretending as if they're so outraged with January the 6th. These are the folks who was praising the George Floyd riots. The most expensive riot in the history of this country. Now we have this document, the 1776 return document, that the FBI submitted and gave it over and entrapped the leader of the Proud Boys. So that means they entrapped a whole bunch of more people. This is a charade. It's a joke. Everything about these people is with lies, intentional lies, and you got people still who believe them. Ask them this question right here. You mean to tell me that the FBI and the CIA and the DOJ had all these informants that we already know they had informants, but they let them still rush to Capitol Hill? What do we need them for?
Prize. We have laws against it precisely so we can get away with it. Corruption is our protection. Corruption keeps us safe and warm. Corruption is why you and I are prancing around in here instead of fighting over scraps of meat out in the street.
What do we need them for? They didn't protect you. They knew it was coming. They had all of the signs before them and they ignored it. Christopher, all of them ignored this because they wanted it to happen. See, this is kind of like a coup d'etat. And they ignored all the evidence, and now they turn around and says, we're going to charge you after we instigated the damn thing. You can't make it up.
Back. In my experience, if you let a man break your nose, then next time he tries to break your spine.
Every time you look around, these people coming up with other ways to be completely corrupt. It's a joke. The justice system is a joke, and they're acting as if January the 6th was bad. What they were doing for George Floyd was way worse than January the 6th, because those were the people who were on January 6th, majority of them was instigated by the freaking FBI, the DOJ, Metro Police Department. The CIA probably had people there too. The CIA don't do anything over it. Do you believe that? Because I got some swampland I'd like to sell you. Entrapment. Is there such thing as entrapment anymore? Because it seems like is there such thing as law in this country anymore? Damn.
We have no Great War, no Great Depression. Our Great War is a spiritual war.